Are you wondering why after a day in the garden you can't wind up walking? Well, I'm Dr. Greg, and today we're going to talk about why that happens and what you can do so your next day in the garden becomes easier and the days after are easier as well. I'm a chiropractor in Northbrook, Illinois, and I help people get healthy, stay healthy, and as active as they'd like. Right now, it's the beginning of spring, and what we're seeing is that a lot of our patients are starting to go out in the yard and work all day Saturday and Sunday. And they're wondering why they're in so much pain the next day. Well, here's the story. If you haven't been active all winter long and you go out and you spend a day in the yard and you're pulling weeds and you're mowing the lawn and you're pruning trees and you're active as can be out there and not taking any breaks, not doing any warm-ups, not hydrating properly, it's no wonder why you might be suffering from pain the next day. We've helped patients wind up putting in the steps in their lives to make it a lot easier. Now, I'm going to give you 2 of those steps so that we can even make next weekend better. However, let's try and get together to figure out what other things we need to plug and play into your life to make sure that the rest of the season and next season becomes a lot easier. We'll talk about that on future videos. The 2 things I want to tell you about today are making sure that you're warmed up. Now, most of us don't think of a day in the yard as a workout. Well, not until the next day when it's tough for us to get out of bed or when it's tough for us to go to work or get in the car. However, one of the biggest things that you can do to help yourself now is to begin by doing some gentle stretches and a warm-up before you start pulling out the hoe, the garden hose, the wheelbarrow, the shovel, the pickaxe, or spending the entire day on your knees digging and planting plants. Below, I'll attach a link to some of our favorite stretches that we like. 3 of them. They'll take you maybe 5 minutes before you get started. The other thing to do is make sure that you do them when you're done. You don't just go inside, relax, lay down on the couch, pass out in bed. Make sure that you wind up doing a good warm-up and then a good finish at the end. Another tip that I'm going to give you is make sure that you stay hydrated. When you're outside and doing the physical labor to take care of the yard and get it ready to go, or the garden, you want to make sure that you're consuming enough water. One of the tips that I've found to be outstanding on knowing how much water you should consume is to take your body weight in fluid ounces. So I weigh 200 pounds. I would take 100 fluid ounces, and that's the goal for water that I should consume in a day. Now, I know a lot of you are going to text me and write me and ask questions. Oh my gosh, that's so much. How am I supposed to drink that much? Well, I've got some simple tips on how to get there, and I'll share those with you in another video linked below. Also, if you've got any problems with blood pressure or you're on any water medications, you need to talk with your physician, or let's talk to figure out the best way to get you to the right volume of water. Now, that 50% amount of water is only the amount of water you should consume if you're not active. So if you're out in the yard for the day, we gotta add more to that. And if you're drinking coffee, tea, or alcoholic beverages, even more. Now, these are some basic tips that I love to share on how people, when they get active or get into a new activity, like spending the day in the garden or yard, taking care of it and grooming it, should wind up using to take care of themselves. If you're concerned about this, or things related to the day out in the yard or activity wind up lasting longer, let's get together and figure out what's causing them, because they shouldn't last longer than 24 to 48 hours. The person who could do that is a chiropractor, and if you don't know one or you need one, let's write your name down below and let's talk and find the right person to help you get back to your activities, get back to life, and stay as active as you can be. Now, once again, I'm Dr. Greg Gerstin with Align Wellness Center in Northbrook, Illinois, looking to help you live the life of your dreams.